I just purchased this newly released limited edition Gretsch G2655TG P90 from Zounds. Here's my Zounds receipt. And here it is. This G2655T is unique because of the satin finish and P90 humbucker combination. It replaces a similar model that was Riviera Blue and had the P90 in the bridge position. The Streamliner series is the entry-level guitar line from Gretsch. At $600, it's the highest ticket Streamliner. I would call it reasonably affordable, with a lot of other excellent brands featuring guitars at this price point. One thing that separates this from the rest of the pack is how light it is. This semi-hollow body guitar averages around 6 pounds. So it appears that the guitar I was sent has a flamed Laurel fretboard. To be honest, I didn't even know that this was a possibility with Laurel as a fretboard material, but I am pleasantly surprised. The workmanship on this guitar is excellent. There are some very minor finish flaws, but nothing that really detracts overall. Notice how they shape the neck heel to make it as unobtrusive as possible. Alright, let's hear what it sounds like. This guitar weighs a very light 6 pounds, 1 ounce. The first improvement I'll make is to shore up the Bigsby by installing a BiggsFix tuning stabilizer and super squishy spring. The Bigsby action was very stiff and the tuning stability was not so great right out of the box. So the first step is to remove this retainer ring from the roller bar. You just want to kind of get under it there. Alright, now we'll just remove that roller bar and we'll replace it with the BiggsFix tuning stabilizer. In this case, it's gold colored, but I believe it's really brass. So we'll put in a couple of screws and basically that's it. For an additional $15, they offer the super squishy spring. You can see that the brick spring is a finer gauge wire, a little more stretched out and slightly taller as well. The result is a much smoother, easier action with the wobble bar. Next, I'll change out the stock tuning machines with hip shot locking tuners. I'm hoping that the screw will line up with the hole left by the old tuners. But no. But not a problem. Hipshot supplies a universal mounting plate system included with their tuners, so I'm going to skip the screws altogether. I also really like this system because if I decide to sell the guitar down the line, I can easily switch the tuners back without having created any damage to the back of the headstock. And in case you're interested in seeing what the truss rod looks like, and that looks pretty clean, I guess. The next change is cosmetic. What would it look like with even more gold hardware? Let's try replacing the black plastic switch tip with a, in the style of Gretsch, metric switch tip. And now a Shaler type brass switch tip. So this is definitely the one, has a nice weight to it. All streamliners have plastic knobs. However, looking online, even the vintage streamliner models had metal volume and tone controls, so it feels appropriate to switch them, and it was pretty inexpensive. It was about $5 or $6 each. And these knobs have a lot of weight to them. They just feel better, and they look better too, in my opinion. The neck pickup is 8.94, which is close to vintage specs. The bridge pickup reads 9.19 and out of the box is a little quieter than the P90. I raised the bridge pickup and lowered the neck a little to try to balance it out. It occurs to me, what would the P90 look like if it was black instead of cream? If I do end up swapping out one or both of the pickups, I would definitely go with TV Jones. The Supertron would be cool, but you'd have to mod out the pickup cavity as most of the center block is routed out under both pickups. The T90 is an option that offers gold pole screws for a $3 upcharge, and they claim it's like a P90 with Gretsch sparkle. So here's a detail I really appreciate. They beveled the edge of the binding to get the feel of rolled edges along the fretboard. The neck itself is a thin U shape. I measured a depth in inches of about 0.8 at the first fret and 0.9 at the 12th. It wasn't particularly necessary with this guitar. However, I think I can make it feel a little more broken in by filing and rounding the fret ends. These frets were already polished, but I'll continue the process using 4000 to 12,000 grit micro mesh. I'm also going to take the sharp edge off the nut and finally clean and condition the fretboard. This wet look really enhances the flame on the Laurel fretboard, but of course it's not going to always look like this. The final part I'm adding to the guitar today is a Vibramate string spoiler. This gizmo sits on the rear roller and makes stringing the Bigsby super easy. Again, it's not permanently attached to the guitar, so I can decide to use it or not each time I change the strings. I assume lubricating both the bridge saddles and the nut is going to be crucial for good tuning stability with the Bigsby. I also believe locking tuners help with tuning stability simply because there isn't 4 or 5 windings around each tuning peg. So now the Bigsby action is easy, nice and smooth. So here's another sound sample. So here's what the guitar looks like after all the changes. You can see I did end up putting on large oval tuning buttons because the headstock is kind of massive. In the end, they did a great job sending this model out ready to go. The setup and action make this guitar really easy and fun to play. The satin finish makes the neck feel great to play, and the body resists fingerprints really well. It's a limited run, and many retailers that got them in late September 2020 have already sold out, so you might want to act sooner than later. Hopefully this was helpful in some way, and I thank you for watching.